Alright, so in this video I want to talk about these cool little boards. They're called USB trigger boards, and they use USB-C here for power input. And typically, at least in this case, it's going to be power delivery 3.0 or 2.0 or quick charge 3.0 or 2.0. And for these, it basically will output 9, 12, 15, or 20 volts on the plus and minus pads out here. So you can basically take a USB-C power supply or power brick and then convert it into DC power by the jumper that you're choosing here. So it's a little hard to see, but there's a jumper right here, or a little resistor on the 12 volt pad. So these pads are bridged. So if you want to switch your voltage to something else, you need to remove that bridge and then solder a bridge to one of the other voltages that you want. And mine came in like a pack of 8, I think, for like $13. I would caution that you be careful as to which ones you buy. There's a lot of these on Amazon, and I had to go through. I bought like this is my third set. The first two were kind of flaky and they didn't work, and so I finally found one that did. And I think it's because a lot of these don't necessarily follow the power delivery protocols correctly, and they will work with some devices and not others, so just something to be aware of. But what you would want this for is, for example, if you have one of these power bricks here that you plug into the wall, and then on the other end you'll have a barrel connector, pretty typical, and you'll have like a bunch of these on your power strip, and sometimes they take up too much space, for example, and you want to replace it with something like this. You can do that. Now we'll go, the maximum amperage that will be output on here is 5 amps. So if you do select the 20 volt out at 5 amps, it's 100 watts max for this device. And it's limited by the charger that you're plugged in, so basically the input source. And so if you want to simulate, something like this, where a device will use 12 volts up to 4 amps, then this will be perfect. You actually don't have to change that solder bridge at all, and it is totally fine. And it will take up less space in terms of what's on your power strip. Also, I lost one of these type of bricks for this power bank. So I have this power bank here that I use, but it's kind of an old school power bank. It's really big, and I think it's, where is it here, DC in. The way it charges is via one of these barrel connectors. It doesn't charge via USB-C, although it has USB-A outputs. It's kind of old, but it's still functional. It's a pretty big one. It's like, I don't know, 23,000 milliamp hours, 85 watt hours. So the input is 15 to 24 volts at 2 amps. And I think it's a 5525 barrel connector. Forget the exact one, but what I did is I just made one of these and I bridged the 20 volts there, as you can see. And then I found one of these barrel connectors I had in a drawer and wired it up. And now I can just plug in a USB-C source here. So I have this other side of this cable plugged into a 100 watt power delivery USB-C, and go ahead and power that up. And then we'll plug this into the DC in here, like so, and now you can see that this starts charging right away. And on the end of this USB-C cable, I'll just show the current draw. You can see it's power delivery, and it is 28 watts going into this power bank. And that's because I lost, basically the power charger plug for this power bank. And this is another case where you can use these little trigger boards to simulate that same voltage. It's operating 20 volts within the voltage range of this device. Same barrel connector, and everything works just fine. As you can see, it's already up to 64%, 1% added. So that's one use case. Obviously, there's a myriad of other ones. There's another one here I'll show you. So this power station here can take 12 volts in. I believe it maxes out at 155 watts on the power brick, but you can just charge it via one of these trigger boards. And I wired up one here. It's just using the 12 volts there. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my USB-C cable here. And on this end, I decided just to use an XT60 connector because I wanted to use the 12 volts and perhaps use different types of other connectors for different applications. So I have other adapters here. So it's just another XT60. And then I have a barrel connector plug for this here that matches. And right now it's at 0 watts. We'll go ahead and plug that in. And you can see we'll have power coming in right away. And it's upside down here. It's like 27 is ramping up. There it is, 27 watts there. And obviously there's a lot of other applications you can use it for. If you have other devices with power bricks, you can basically, set the right voltage for your device and use one of those USB-C chargers that have a lot of outputs. Plug them in, it uses up a lot of space. And obviously you're going to try and match whatever your voltage is for whatever device you're trying to use it for. So it's really going to depend on what you have, but it's a very useful product if you tend to use a lot of USB-C stuff and you have some older devices that use just basic DC current or DC voltage at these voltages here. Then this is a really interesting product to use, but be aware that you probably want to get this from Amazon and elsewhere because you want to return in case you have some issues with compatibility. There were a couple listings that I bought previously before I got this one that had a lot of issues where it kind of worked but it didn't work. So just be aware of that. But the link in the description is the one that I actually bought mine from. So at least you can see from my video that it is working. Anyway, got any questions, comments? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.